The conflict enters day 6 as combined military forces intensify airstrikes on critical sites.
Military assets.
An advanced aerial defense system in Isfahan was also eliminated during the overnight sorties.
Fresh reports of massive blasts are currently emerging from various sectors of the capital city.
Pentagon officials claim an 86% drop in active Iranian missile launching units. The U.S. president states that the military is now operating from an extremely strong position.
Tremendous progress is being made as hostile missile assets are being wiped out very rapidly.
The administration notes that the regime is increasingly attacking its own regional neighbors.
Air raid sirens have been wailing through the night across the streets of Tel Aviv tonight.
Warning sirens also echoed in Jerusalem as citizens rushed toward reinforced bomb shelters.
Distant explosions were heard across the skyline as multiple incoming missiles were intercepted.
Further military attacks have been reported this morning within the city of Doha in Qatar.
The Canadian Prime Minister says his country may join the military operations in the region.
The Prime Minister stated he cannot rule out his military's participation in this escalation.
Intelligence reports suggest the Pentagon is preparing for operations to last through September.
This new operational plan calls for additional high-level intelligence personnel and funding.
These military requirements stretch far beyond the initial 4-week timeline previously set.
The UK Defence Secretary is currently heading to Cyprus to coordinate strategic defence ops.
International allies have criticized the slow response to the recent retaliatory strikes today.
The High Commissioner expressed expectations for a more robust defense of the strategic island.
Advanced Typhoon and F-5 fighters are currently operational in the skies over Cyprus.
However, the HMS Dragon will not arrive until next week due to maintenance delays.
Allies are criticizing the slow response from the capital to recent retaliatory strikes.
In Washington, the Senate has voted on a resolution to curb presidential war powers. The measure was rejected in a very narrow 53-47 vote today. The vote in the upper chamber was split almost entirely along traditional party lines.
The Iran ship recently sunk was reportedly heading back home from an Indian port.
Sri Lankan medical staff are currently treating many sailors rescued from the water.
Official video shows a powerful torpedo strike that blew apart the stern of the vessel.
Iran has officially announced that it is now sending a second warship to the area.
The regime claims it has successfully targeted a U.S. tanker within the Gulf waters.
This retaliatory strike has significantly heightened maritime tensions in the region.
The first British evacuation flight has been delayed by technical issues in Amman.
A second flight is now scheduled to depart from London City later this afternoon. Some commercial air traffic is finally beginning to resume from various Gulf countries.
Exactly 48 flights per hour are now moving through an air corridor in the UAE.
Ben Gurion Airport in the region has just reopened to a limited number of flights.
Security protocols remain extremely high. despite the partial reopening of airports.
We now go live to Beirut for an update on the latest ground situation in Lebanon. Fresh strikes have been reported within the southern suburbs of Beirut overnight. Multiple strikes hit South Beirut and the southern regions of the nation today.
2 civilian vehicles were attacked on a highway with heavy movements tonight.
Military officials state the targets were members of a local militia group.
The local government reports that at least 70 people were killed so far.
Hundreds more are reportedly injured as the humanitarian crisis deepens now.
Over 80,000 people are now displaced and fleeing from their towns. Families are desperately seeking shelter within local schools and buildings. Many civilians are left sleeping in the streets, waiting for further updates. Military evacuation orders were issued for towns south of the Litani River.
Citizens are being ordered to move immediately to the north of the river now.
Concerns are mounting regarding a potential expansion and boots on ground.
The Hezbollah leader made his first televised appearance since the conflict.
In a televised speech, the leader defended the group's current war position.
He claimed that the regional ally had broken a long-standing ceasefire deal.
The militia group is now vowing to continue defending itself and fighting.
Many citizens in Lebanon are now criticizing the group for recent actions.
The response followed the neutralization of the regional official.
Critics argue the group is dragging the nation into a war it did not choose.
The central government insists that the group be banned from military acts.
All decisions of war and peace must be made solely by the state government.
However, the militia group broke the rules and involved the country in war again.
The central government in Beirut now faces a very difficult situation tonight.
Moving across the region to Doha in Qatar for the latest on-base evacuations.
Officials are currently evacuating the area around the Al Udeid military base.
A notice was issued overnight regarding the evacuation of the U.S. Embassy in Doha.
This evacuation is being described by U.S. officials as a precautionary movement.
The notice did not indicate that there was an immediate threat to the embassy.
U.S. embassies in Riyadh and Kuwait have already been targeted by recent strikes. Further attacks were reported in Dubai and at the Al Udeid military base before.
The Qatari government is taking every possible step to protect its citizens now.
Numerous explosions and air defense fire have been heard within the last hour.
Incoming drones or missiles appear to be targeting the local area at the moment.
The Qatari foreign minister has spoken directly to his counterpart from Tehran.
This marks the first time both leaders have spoken since the conflict started.
Qatar has officially rejected the arguments provided by the regime's leadership.
The regime claimed it was not targeting the sovereign state of Qatar itself.
Tehran insists it is only targeting American interests within the local territory.
Qatari officials countered that residential and civilian sites were also hit.
The minister accused the regime of trying to harm their Arab neighbors tonight. Qatar has officially demanded that all military attacks stop immediately today. Various Gulf states have issued several official statements of condemnation today.
Regional leaders state they reserve the absolute right to respond in the future.
They are currently focused on a very robust and expensive defense strategy tonight.
High-tech air defense systems have been fully operational for the past 6 days.
A Pentagon briefing suggests that the regime's strikes have dropped sharply now.
This suggests they might be running out of both advanced weapons and launchers now.
Gulf states are considering whether to move on the offensive at some point soon. Everything is currently being considered at the highest levels of government now. Moving to Jerusalem, where interceptors were fired throughout the evening tonight.
Warning sirens woke many people and sent them to local air raid shelters tonight.
Similar events occurred across Tel Aviv and large swaths of the entire region now.
Warning sirens for incoming drones were heard near the northern border areas now.
The regional military chief stressed the success against missile stores in Iran.
Official reports claim air superiority and freedom of action over Iranian skies.
Forces are now able to reach any location and strike any target at will tonight.
Local authorities are planning to ease all public restrictions starting at noon. This is because fewer missiles are being fired from the regime's territory now.
Military forces have hit more than 300 militia targets in Lebanon now.
More than 300,000 residents have already left their homes behind.
A significant military buildup with more tanks is appearing at the border today.
The regional military has targeted over 80 sites in the past 24 hours. Residents south of the Litani River are being ordered to evacuate north immediately.
Over 300,000 people have fled their homes to escape the conflict.
This area is widely considered to be a major tactical stronghold for the militia.
There is real evidence of a massive military buildup, with more tanks at the border.
The central government in Beirut struggles to maintain control over the situation.
Analysts warn that the current escalation shows no immediate signs of stopping.
The Pentagon is now making strategic plans for operations to last through September. Additional funding and intelligence personnel may be required for the long term.
HMS Dragon is currently out of maintenance, but won't arrive until later next week.
Gulf states are considering their options for moving to an offensive stance soon.
Israel now claims to have full freedom of action within the skies over the regime. Please like and subscribe to the Strategic Pulse for more deep geopolitical news.
Stay safe and stay informed as we continue to track this escalating world war.
This has been a special report for the Strategic Pulse. Reporting for the news team.